Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today I want to show you just a few tips and tricks using the 1 or 2 inch brush. Now obviously I'm sure you guys have seen how to use the 1 and 2 inch brush quite a few times in the past. However, this time I'm going to show you just a few things that maybe you haven't seen before. I think you'll really enjoy it. Let's get started. We'll start off today here with the 1 inch brush and a little bit of yellow and, well, a touch of blue to make a pretty soft green color. There, okay, that looks pretty decent for what we're doing, I think. And the reason my colors are all mixed together, I just put a little color in the background here. This is our normal practice canvas. I just made a soft sky and a rolling little meadow area, just so it's not blank. Okay, now the light's coming across like this. Here's our little 1 inch brush, and you could do this with a 2 inch brush. All these techniques are interchangeable. I'm just gonna tap it into the paint so that I have a nice open, airy brush. Okay, light's coming across like this. I'm gonna just set my brush down and I'm gonna shove it up like this. You see that? I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but not something we do very often. But I'm just trying to show you some different cool things you can do with the 1 inch brush, because you don't have to just stamp your grass on with this brush. You can really pull it up and then watch this. You can kind of smooth it. Look at, because this brush has a lot of variation in it, you can really use it to get some texture. See that? Let's get a little highlight out in there. Just load up one of the edges, one of the sides there. So you can pull it and you get a medium textured grass, and then you can go for the larger textured grass over it. Cool. Yeah. And then you could probably seen this with a fan brush, but you can do it with a 1 inch. Kick your handle up toward the ceiling, and then for the tallest grass, you can just slam it down. See that? You actually make bigger grass than you could with the fan brush, because the brush has got a little more paint to work with. A little more bristle in there, holds more paint there. See that? Cool. So you create these little meadows. Yeah, you can do this with a 1 inch brush, it works. But just remember, you don't want to go for a repetitive stamping pattern of grass, just the same old grass stroke all over. Because with a big brush, it's super easy to get into a pattern. So when you're using a larger brush, it's pretty quick. So watch out that you're not getting into a pattern. You can fall into the patterns too quickly. So be careful. There you go. Okay, I'm throwing a little dark in there just for the sake of having some dark. So we at least following the generic rules of painting. There, good. All right, that doesn't look bad, does it? That's kind of neat. I like showing you all these different things. A little more yellow, and let me just put a little more emphasis on this area right in here. Then I'm going to texturize it. See that? By kind of touching and pulling down. Good. I'm going to show you how to do a tree that maybe you haven't seen before. I think you'll really enjoy it. All right, let's add some flowers. Now, you can do flowers with all sorts of brushes, but watch what happens when you use this one. I'm going to tap into some white and some blue to make a shadow color. And I'm going to kind of press my brush in, paying attention to load just the top bit of the brush. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to touch and kind of press down like this. And what this is going to do is create a bunch of these little poofy flowers. What a horrible description. I don't know. You know what I mean. They're often meadows, and honestly, you don't even need to know exactly what flowers you're painting. It doesn't usually make any difference, just as long as they're pretty. These are like a little wildflower. Maybe these are actually white. I just did the shadow. And so you come in here and you touch with a little bit of this, and see that? Make sure you have that nice rounded bristle there. See that? Don't pull it through in one direction. You gotta kind of make sure that tip is working for you, because you're painting with the tip. There, kind of gives you a more open texture than you would otherwise get with the other brushes. Come back in here and lay in a little bit of this. Looks like the little flowers in the background. And this is easy. Really is. Let me load up with some dark. That doesn't make any difference what kind of dark it is, just dark. And I'm going to hold my brush down like this, and I want to just seep these flowers in. See that? Touch them, and you just drop them right back into the meadow. Cool. There you go. That's how you would make a large fluffy meadow with this brush. It's better than stamping. You get a little bit more, it looks a little more realistic. Okay. Let me show you another tree. Actually, let me set down that brush, pick up a filbert, Grab a little bit of color. There, just dark. It doesn't really make a whole lot of difference what it is. Now, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but I'm going to show you anyways. Take this filbert brush. I've done this in classes. I don't know if I've done it in videos or not. This is fun though when you're painting. If you ever paint in front of people, like if you do a demo or something, if you're trying to get your name out there or for classes or for selling your art and you're doing a live demo, try this tree. It's really cool. People think you're crazy when you do it. Okay, see, I'm just make it look horrible in the beginning, right? Have a lot of fun with it and kind of act like you're out of control there. Then take your 1 or 2 inch brush. It doesn't matter which one. It doesn't even have to be clean. It doesn't have to be dirty either because you're really using the paint here. And I'm going to hold it. See, I'm going to hold it with my fingers right here where the brush tapers. You got to have one with the pencil handle, and you got to spin it in your fingers like this. And as you're spinning it, go in, press, and come out. Spin it, go in, press, and come out. Don't spin on the canvas. This does not work. Spin outside, come in, stamp it, and come back out. And always spinning it so that you get a better variation in your limbs, spacing and shape. See that? Make sure you don't get it too clumpy though. There you go. See that? And then all of a sudden it becomes like a beautiful little tree instead of a horrible looking tree. Let's kind of melt that right down. Cool. Yeah, let me show you how to highlight something like this. Grab a different one, clean brush. Some white, some yellow, and just for fun, I'm going to change the color by adding a little bit of red. Touch of blue maybe to that, so that it's a different color. Good, okay. I'm going to highlight it just like I did. See how you spin it? This is really, really fun and kind of exciting to watch actually when you get to do these for people. It's pretty fun. They've always gone over pretty well in classes, this kind of tree. There, see that? Cool, and it's easy. A lot of people can do this too. So if you're just learning, try this tree. There you go. I'm going to change here to a filbert just for the sake of finishing out the scene. A little dark, a little light. I'm going to drop in a couple of tree trunk areas. And there we go. Liner brush. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of dark and just play around here with this, just so you can see this tree, because it's not really good for me to just leave it unfinished for you, because even though I'm just showing you today how to use the 1 or 2 inch brush, and the 2 inch brush makes a bigger tree, but the same exact idea. Even though I'm just showing you, the point is for me to show you how to do this with the 1 and 2 inch brush. I think it's worth it for you to see the tree finished, so you get an idea of what it should look like, so when you're practicing, you know what to do. Always finish out your practice paintings. You know, if you're painting a tree, complete the tree. Don't just leave it halfway done. It's not worth it. It's really worth that extra minute to just make it look right. You get a better practice that way. Sweet. That's looking good. I'm going to just throw some, the way I would finish this if this was in a painting, I would simply drop in some beautiful grass areas right here at the base of this tree and make it look so pretty. Of course, we have soften the grass. We have a liner brush tip video if you need help on the liner brush, so I'm not going to spend any time here showing you how to do this. There. A lot of fun. Too much fun. And that's about all it takes to make just a beautiful little meadow and a tree. And these are just some different things you can do with the 1 or 2 inch brush that maybe you haven't really seen before. Now I'm going to go ahead and load up my 1 inch brush with a very bright yellow, just white and yellow. Lots of paint into the brush. And I just want to show you one last thing here. We need an extra highlight out on this tree because extra highlights really help to sparkle up the painting. Okay, so I've got my brush loaded and you see it's got a lot of paint out in the front there, and I'm just going to touch it like this as soft as I can, and I'm going to spin it just like I was doing. But this time I'm going to kind of keep these leaves out. See that? To kind of keep them out a little further. What this will do is create almost like a beautiful open area, open texture of highlighted leaves that are outside the dark. Because a lot of people, they'll just like stay right against that dark, and I mean, it's okay, but I'm gonna just try to free you up a little, get you to where you kind of do some different things. Oh yeah, there's some orange or yellow in there. That's pretty. See that? You can use the back of the brush to soften areas out if you need to. Good. That's better. See the difference there? Try to work as several colors. I'm going to say as many as you can. Maybe not, don't go overboard in a tree, but in your painting work, as many colors in as you can. If you have a lot of colors, you're going to have more success than if you had just one or two. I've got a darker color now. Good. Fun. This is easy. This is kind of a simple, interesting way to do a tree. Just make sure you keep that brush spinning in your fingers, though. All right, well, I think we're done with our little tip video and practice painting for today. I hope you really had a lot of fun. Don't forget to check out my website and, of course, the 1 and 2 inch brush. Give them a try. They're a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.